Brachot of Chesed with base. The beginning of the wide lines. The first shoe of the wide lines. We said that. What is the Masechet of Pope that he shouldn't come and sit on the Mito Aramis. You shouldn't come and sit on the Mito Aramis. Is in Ochaname the Masechet of Pope what we find. The Mito Aramis because in Ochaname that as we mentioned the Masechet from Rabbi Nissim Goyen that he owed money to this woman. And she came, she told him, sit in a waiting room. And the Masechet she put over there that child is her own child, or not her own child, depends on the Gilsois. If he actually fell for it, or didn't fall for it, it also depends on the Gilsois, what we said. Let's see a little bit the Gemara. So when the Gemara is mashma that he didn't fall for it. The next thing what he told them, his sons, don't go behind the Beis HaKnesset. Why? Because this looks like that yeah. Says the Gemara, this is a Messiah le Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. That this deen that this person shouldn't go behind the Beis HaKnesset when the Tzibur is davening is Messiah to Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. That's what Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says. That even that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Nochoname, we saw this deen before, and the Omar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Osu lo le'odom sheyaver achoyer Beis HaKnesset, v'shor she'atzibur mispalelin. Says the Gemara. Now Abaye comes and says about this, v'lo yamoron, that you can't go through Beis HaKnesset when the tzibur is davening, elo deleke pischa achine, there's no a different opening. Avol eiche, what is a pischa achine? There is another opening, ike pischa achine, les lonbo, so then there's no isu. Why? Because the person that's going to see it, he's going to say, okay, he's going to go in for the other Pesach. That's what Rashi explains. Rashi is not over here. Rashi is later on in Daf Samach Aleph or Mid Aleph. That's what Rashi explains. That in Ochanami, because there's another Pesach over there. So there's no problem and the person is not going to be choished. A lot of I saw interesting shaila, Chanukah. We just had 2 weeks ago Chanukah. Over there we find when a person has 2 psochim, what's the din? Pnei Chashad, what he has to do? To lighten both. So over here, why we're not choished over here? Chanukah. We are choished, right? We say we suspect, maybe not, maybe yes. So why over here we're not choished? Chanukah is very different than the 2 psochim. Over here, what are you going to say? He's going to put 1 foot here, 1 foot there. It's not shaykh to come in. Well, what he's going to do exactly? He's definitely came in from one and not from the other. But in the Pesach, in Chanukah, you could come and say, has to be in one of them. And if he didn't put in this one, maybe he didn't put us on the other. So that's why we come and say that it's a little bit different Ner Chanukah than over here. Okay. V'lo yamoron elo deleke beiknishta achine. There's no other Beis HaKnesset over there in the area. But avol ike beiknishta achite. There is a different Beis HaKnesset. Let's learn why? Because this person sees him. He says, oh, probably went to daven in the other Beis HaKnesset. V'lo yamoron elo delo yidore tuna. He's not carrying something on his back. If he's carrying over there something on his back, v'lo yiroit, and also he's not running. V'lo yimanach tefillin. Avol ike chad me'anoch less number. Why? Because the person sees someone running and he's carrying something on his back, so you know why he's not going to Beis HaKnesset. Not because he's against the Beis HaKnesset, or he has something against it and he doesn't want to walk into the Beis HaKnesset, or he has a prikas oil. No, he's a Yerushalayim. Just the reason he's keeping away from Beis HaKnesset now because he's in a rush to do something else. And he has on him tefillin. And if he wouldn't have Yerushalayim, for sure he would not keep the tefillin on him. Says the Gemara, Tanya. Over here we're talking about also, we spoke about yesterday, the cutting the meat. So the Gemara brings another brayso about cutting meat. Slicing meat. Omar Abakiva, Bishloisha Dvorim, Oyev Hani, Modim. The people that come over there for the Medoim, there's a few things in Ochaname, they have a few miles. We know, the Gemara of the Zorah, the first perek, the end of the first perek, the Gemara says, the Isur of Lo Yisechonim. What is the Isur of Lo Yisechonim? So there's many Pshatim in the Gemara, what means lo yisechonim? Or lo yisit elem chaniya b'karka, not to come and sell them a house in Eretz Yisrael. Or lo yitit elem chen. What means lo yitit elem chen? Not to give them inochoname a nice word. Or lo yitit elem matnas chinam, not to give them presents. So how could Rabbi Akiva over here come and say, oh, you know, there's some certain nice things about the Medoim. Medoim are goyim. And if they are goyim, how could he come and give them a Nesiyus Chen? How could he come and give them a Nesiyus Chen? He says, B'shloisha dvorim, oyev hani es ha-medoim. What means oyev hani? He's coming and saying good things about them. So the Ben Yoda says, what he came and said over here is like this. I found only these 3 good things about them, nothing else. Nothing else. This is the only 3 things that they did right. But chutz in them, nothing good about them. Yeah, what is the 3 good things that we find by the Medoim? When they slice the meat, ein choytchin elo al gavei hashulchan, and not on the hand. When they come to kiss their friends, ein noishkin elo al gavei yad, on the hand and on the face, because they care about the roik. Maybe it's going to be a bit of spit, so they... And uksheyoatzin, that means when they come and they're looking for advice, and they want to come and say a secret, where they say it, ein yoatzin elo basode, but not inside the city. You know why? Because Rashi brings a pasuk. Rashi says that Amreiche oiznaim lakoisel. Even the walls have. Yes. As the Gemara says, "Babasa ki oif hashomayim." Right? But when Buddha tells Odus, he tells him, "Oh, you know, no, curse the king. You know, he killed all the chacham." He says, "Ki oif hashomayim yoilich hazakoil ubal knofayim yagedovo." So in Ochanami we come and say over there, a person said that's a certain chochmeh. Omar Avade. Barave, Maiko, where do we find these things in the Torah? Because we find over there Legabe Yaakov, when he calls Rochel and Leah, right, about leaving Lavan. What it says over there in the pasuk. So over there in the pasuk it says, Vayishlach Yaakov vayikro leRochel uleLeah hasode el tzoynoi. So even though in Ochaname, where do we call them? The Sode. The Sode. In Ochaname they shouldn't have anything, and then he comes and he tells them, let's leave. I heard once a nice word why he told them now to leave. Because he has to start, right? The Torah says over there, he starts to dream. What he's dreaming about? Akudim, Nekudim, Teluim. He said, till now, you know, I was working with the Akudim, Nekudim, Teluim, the sheep. There were spots, there were stripes, there was Akudim, Nekudim, Teluim. So he says, till now, there were spots, there was this. And that was my job, what I did. Okay. But, so I came and I did. For 20 years he worked. But now, when I start to come to dream about it at night, that's what you know good. To work in it, something will say though. I'm dreaming about it at night. The next thing he goes and he calls his wife, let's leave. There's a different level already. Okay. For sure it's only Der Tzachos, because we know in the Peter Asanister, Akudim, Nekudim, Teluim, that's the all the Shtalshelu Oilemes of the thing, that's the Lovan, the Loiven, Elyon. It's big soidas over here. But again, it's only a vault, as we just said. Okay. Says the Gemara. Omar Gamliel, Tanya Omar Gamliel, Shloisha Dvorim, Oyev Ani Parsim, Persians. Hein Snuim Be'achiloson, that they wouldn't come and eat everywhere. They would eat only, the Ben Yoda says, we eat inside the house. Also inside the house, they would have only a certain place over there they eat. They wouldn't eat everywhere in the house. They wouldn't sit in bed and eat. And also at home, you would have a certain place to come and to eat. Ve'vetsnuin beveis akisei, utsnuin be'davacher, davacher means tashmish. Says the Gemara. When we come in talking about the Mapole of the Psukim of there is talking about Mapole of Bovel by the Persians, right? We know who became king after Bovel. So we had the kings of Bovel. First was Ashur, right? The last king of Ashur was, according to Chazal, Asa Chadoin, son of Sancheirev. Right? Some say what we know Ashur Benipal was also, we call him different names in Tanakh, but Asa Chadoin. And then was Nebuchadnezzar, his son Mehoidach, and his grandson, Belshazzar. Belshazzar, on that night, when he made a feast, he comes out a finger from the Shomayim, takal, Parsin, right? Oh, comes and he loses the thing. To who? To the Persians. To, depends who, Daryovesh, right? The first Daryovesh, Koiresh. Oh, now, this is the Pasuk was talking about over here, about this, Malchei Poras, who took over from Malchei, from the Bovel. Ani says over there, the Pasuk, and the Pasuk is in Yeshaya. Ani tziveisi lemekudoshoi. And the Hemshech of the Pasuk is Gam korosi giboirai leapi alizei gavosi. And the gavosi Nochoname is the Bavel, the Babylonians, the Nochoname, the other guy, and that's why he comes and says Ani tziveisi. Says the Gemara. What's the pshat? What's the pshat over here in the Pasuk? Tony Rav Yosef, who's the mekudoshai? Who's the mekudoshai? Eilu aparsim hamekudoshin umezumoni legeinim. But even though that they have these three good things, they're still mezumon to Gehenim. They're invited to Gehenim. Why? Because they don't do it. You know why? The Mefarshim is saying because they don't do it because they want to do Dvar Hashem. They do it because they have to be nice. There's manners. There's this. No. When we know the Briskerov used to say when he doesn't kill because it's not nice. He doesn't kill because there's no shirtzach. That's the reason we don't kill. That's the reason. Not because different reason. They do it because they have their manners. The Chukoi Sagoim. That's why they're going to get punished. Says Rashi, Ani tziveisi nemekudoshai b'mapelas bovel ksiv. Ani tziveisi malkei poras u'myodai lovoi hu lashchiso the malchus. Okay, now we're going back a little bit to the sugya, what we learned in the Mishnah. We learned in the Mishnah, Rabbi Gamliel Oimer. And the time of reading Krishma, of learning Krishma is Ad Sheyale Amud HaShachar. Ad Sheyale Amud HaShachar is the time of Krishma. Says the Gemara. Omar Rav Yudeh, Omar Shmuel, Haloche ke Rabbi Gamliel. The haloche is like Rabbi Gamliel at what? The Kriya Shema is of Arvi says Ad Sheyale Amud HaShachar. And in Ochaname, the Rambam, if you look at the Rambam, in Ilchos Krishma, Perek Aleph, Haloche Tes, the Rambam Paskins, Zman Krishma Balaylo, Mitzei Sakoichovim, till when? Ad Chatzi Alaylo. Ad Chatzi Alaylo. Like who? Like Chachomim. V'im Ovar ve'icher ve'koro, says the Rambam, v'im Ovar ve'icher ve'koro lifnei Alois HaShachar, Yotzo. You know Choname. So, be'etzem we pass like Chachomim. There is, over here, it's very interesting, because L'choire, this is like Chachomim. So there is two Havonas in the Achroinim, how to learn Chachomim. Some say, no, Chachomim, in Choname said, what we learned, Mashe'omu Chachomim, La'achik Yisodom and Aver, it's only to Chatzois, the way Rabbi Gamliel learned the Chachomim. Chachomim themselves, they learned at Chatzois, and not more. Chachomim themselves, they said in Ochoname at Chatzois. And after Chatzois is not going to help. That's what Chachomim said. Rabbi Gamliel learned. That's there's a few shittas. The Shagasarye wants to learn that way. But there's a few shittas in the Achroinim that they want to learn that Chachomim said at Chatzois. Rabbi Gamliel understood in the Chachomim, and what Chachomim said at Chatzi Alaylo is Kadei La'alchik Yisodom Min Aver, they come to do certain boundaries. Because if you tell him that you have the whole night, and then eventually he will come and go to sleep, and he will verpass the ganze Zach. That's what some Achroinim want to learn. Let's see the Gemara. Tanya. Abshir Ben Yochai Yoimer. Pe'omim she'odom koyer kriya shma shtei poim balaylo. And one night he could read twice Krishma, and a very, very short time apart of each other, and he's going to be Yoitze, also Krishma shel Shachris, and also shel Arvis. How could it be? Zog the Gemara. Achas koydem Amud HaShachar, and ve'achas lachas sheyale Amud HaShachar. Now, it doesn't mean in Ochoname, Toshis over here writes, it doesn't mean in Ochoname that he's going to read straight away. Just he has to wait. What he has to wait is we will see later on in the Mishnah and the Tes, Amud Beis, that what? Misha Yakir. There's a Zman when you could start to say Krishma of Shel Yoim, of the day. Misha Yakir ben Tcheles Nekarti. In Ochoname, he has to wait for that time, but both of them is going to be after Amud HaShachar. Says the Gemara, Ve'yoytze ben yedei choivosei. Achas, one of the kriyas, he was yoytze shel yoim habo. Ve'achas, one of the kriyas that he read before Amud HaShachar, shel lailo, of the past. Says the Gemara, Hogu fekashya. Why? This itself is a contradiction. Why? Amres, in the beginning, what do we say? Pe'omim she'odom koyer kriyas shma shetei pe'omim balaylo. So what do we see? Alme, le'achas sheyale Amud HaShachar leile. What do we see? That after it's night. That means that this Kriya Shema, after Ola Amud HaShachar, we say that it's Yoitze, the Choyvas Kriya of what? Of Yoim. Alme Yemomehu. We see that what? This is day. What is it? It's day or night. Says the Gemara, This is not a question. Why? Because Neitzach Hamo is Leilu. Anything that's before Neitzach Hamo, even after Alois, yeah? Anything before Neitzach Hamo, before, after Alois is Leilu. Now, what we talk about over here is only Legabi Krishme. Toises wants to say that for the rest of the mitzvahs, Tfilin, Tzitzis, that's what Toises brings over here, that in Tfilin, Tzitzis, in Ochoname is definitely considered Laila. It's not Neitzach Hamo yet, it's definitely considered Laila. That's what Toises wants to learn. And the Achoni want to learn the other way around. Because we find Legabi Tfilin, you can put on even before the Neitz. Tzitzis, you mechuyev even before the Neitz.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why are they different?
Because what is called Yoim and what is called Laila. That's the question. And we're going to see that in Ochoname was that a svor in it. So the svor in it is, some say, because if you Krishme, you started to have the chiyuv when? At night. So it's continuing. Once it's continuing, so we're going in also to the till when it for sure daylight. But when we start the mitzvahs of the day, is by the majority of people are waking up. And the majority of people are waking up when? From Alois. There's still people who are asleep. And that's the question if we look at what we look at. We look at the minority are still sleeping, or we don't look at them. We can see it through the Gemara, what we're going to learn. So let's see the Gemara inside. V'hod Kori, says the Gemara, V'hod Kori le'yoim, and he's yoytze the Choivas Kriya Shema Shel Yoim, right, as we just said. Because there is some people that they're already awake by Shaita. And in Kriya Shema we know what it says in Kriya Shema, Uvekumecho. And Mimele, when is the time that a person is obligated to read Kriya Shema, to lay Kriya Shema? Uvekumecho, the Zman Kime. When is the Zman Kime? We have people already awake. Mimele, this is a Zman of Kime, and Mimele, it's going to be good enough to come into lay Kriya Shema at that time. Omer Ravache Bar Chanine, Omer Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Halacha, the halacha is Rab Shimon ben Yochai. That what? That a person can come and read Krishma of Shachis from when? From Alois HaShachar. Why? Because there is already a Zman Kime. It says Ubekumecho. It started over a Zman Kime. That's good enough to start to read Krishma Shel Yoim from Amud HaShachar. The Rashba asks a very, very interesting question. L'chayra, when we know Roiv, right? I'm sure you get we learned many times Roiv, right? There's Roiv and a miut, a majority and a minority. We always go Bosaro. So over here, because we have a minority of people that are getting up already, no one people sleep at that time. Who gets up before Allah? People sleep at that time. And just what? There is a minority of people that get up. Mimele says the Gemara, you can come and read Krishma over there when? From Alois HaShachar. But when we have a Roiv and we have a mute, we go by the Roiv. So why over here we going by the mute? Why over here we going by the mute? Huh? Yeah, Uvekumecho. Yeah, but what is the Uvekumecho? What is the definition of Kumecho when the majority of people get up? That's exactly the question. We say Ubekumecho that we go by Zman Kime. How we define Zman Kime? By the majority of people. So why over here we're going to come and say that we go by the minority because there is some people who came and said of there the Ike Inche, that's the Lashon HaGemara, the Ike Inche the Kaime, the Ike Inche the Kaime B'ai Shaite, Imele Inochoname. That's why I think. So he says because it's a Gzeire or Takone for the person that Inochonami was late and he didn't yet read Krishma. And if we're not going to allow him to read Krishma now, when it's Alois HaShachar, so he's also going to come and miss even the Neitzach Hamo. And that's where the for sure day. And that's why we came with the Gzeira or Takone for this person that he could still read in Alois HaShachar, he could already read Krishma of Yoim.
Kohanim bebet hamikdash, mתי הם היו?
The Kohanim Beis Hamikdash?
Yeah, before תמיד, yeah?
Yes. In the middle of Korban HaTomid, they would go into Lishkas HaGozis and over there would say Kriya Shema. That's what the Mishnah and Tomid says.
So what does it mean? What do you think if he's late? If he's
why we call it over is what the Gemara says. The Ike Inche, right? The Ike Inche, the Kaime. There's some people, you know, Chaname.
So what is late? Where's the late? Who's late?
They might forget.
It's not late, it's early. It's early, it's not late.
But because they got it so
Yeah, but it's early, they're not late, they're early, aren't they?
Yeah, we did a gzeir on someone that Nechoname didn't let him through the night, and he's late. So there we made a gzeir on him. But a person, we were not machmir on someone that came earlier. Someone that came earlier that we're not machmir on. We just made a gzeir on someone that coming to do later. But someone, yeah, but the someone that's coming to do earlier, right? That means the yoim, he wants to do it earlier in the day, that we are not goizer. Okay, we can see this again in Testament base. We're gonna be a bit more wiser to understand this the chiluk. Says the Gemara. Ike de masne leho. Some say this psak halacha, the Ravach Barachine, that halacha is like Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, what he said, that Omar inochaname aho inochaname on a different aho the Tanya. Aho the Tanya. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai oimer. Mishum Rav Akiva. Pe'omim, sometimes she'odom koye kirashma shtei pe'omim bayoim, one, achas koydem ha'neitzach hamo, and once le'achar ha'neitzach hamo, ve'yoyitz b'yedei choyvosoi, inochaname, one is achas, and one kriya that he did after neitz is yoyitz shel yoim, ve'achas, and the kriya that he did before the neitz is going to be shelaylo. Yeah? Now, when he comes and does, so what he's doing one kriya after alois before nates, and that's called the kriya shema shelaylo. One he's doing after nates, okay, that's for sure shel yoim, no question. But the one that he's doing after alois hashachar before the nates, that is shelaylo. Does he have to put on tefillin at that time? Because the mice is already the zman tefillin. And if not, is the koyer eidu sheker be'atzmai. He's made eidu sheker. So he should wear tefillin at that time or not? He's doing over a kriya shema after alois, before nate. It's a zman tefillin, but he's doing kriya shema shelaylo. But the time is already a time of tefillin, so he's made eidu sheker.
He just wants his tefillin.
He's doing before the nate zachamo, but it's after alois hashachar. When we say over a koydem nate zachamo is after alois hashachar.
You're talking about between Alois and Mashiach, that short period.
Huh?
You're talking about that short little period between.
It could be before nates.
After before Nates.
Before nates.
But after Alois.
In this man tefillin, you put on tefillin. In that time, that's the time because he's doing it mamish before. We're saying a person is not long. Yeah, he's wearing tefillin. He's saying Krishna twice, and he's yoytze one for the day and one for the night.
Which one is the night? What time?
The one before nates. Mamish before nates.
After Mashiach.
After Mishayakir. So those Sameach said he's not going to have to wear tefillin. But the Nochonam and Sefer Marakoy, he says yes, he's going to have to put on tefillin because he's made eidu sheker. Even if it's
he's tefillin for the light and he's got tefillin on.
Because it's a Nochonam. No, because this is a Zman Laila Legabi Krishma. That's where the yoy for tefillin.
So what's the eidu sheker here? What's the sheker?
Because the person says tefillin without tefillin.
Because what?
Yeah, but we put on
Without
tefillin.
tefillin.
Yeah.
If you put on tefillin, so say the sheker.
What do you say?
It's a daytime. He's saying
It's not a zman. It's not a, yeah, because when you're saying it, it's not a zman. When you're saying it in the zman, right? You say kshat lo yisal yodecho, v'ile toitofo is beinenecho.
that's why you don't talk about it.
The sheker if you have no intention of putting them on.
Huh?
It's only deemed Eidos sheker if you have no intention of wearing them at all. If you're going to put them on, you're traveling and you want to put them on later. That's not deemed Eidos sheker. That could be that just halacha that way, but that could be the answer.
Maybe that's the small of those Sameach. Yeah, okay, let's see the Gemara. Yeah. Says the Gemara. Hogu vekashye. Why? Amres. Now the same what we learned before, and just the opposite. Amres pe'omim she'odom koye kriya shema shtei pe'omim bayoim. Right? So alme. And after Alois HaShachar, even before the Nates, what is it? Yemame. Yemame. Ve'od atane yoyitze bo'yedei choyvosoi achas shel yoim. So what do we see that till the Netzach Hama, what is it? Leilahu. So how can we? And for the Gemara, Daf Tesa Med Aleph, Loi. This is not a question. Why? Because Leoilom Bemes from Alois HaShachar, Leoilom from Alois HaShachar, Yemamehu. From Alois HaShachar is where the Yomah. Ve'aide Koru Lei. Why we call it Leila? Why we call it night? Why we call it Leila? Because the same thing like we said before. Because the Ikein the Gonu Ba'ishaita, there's some people are still asleep in that time, and that's why in Krishme we know it's Be'shoch Becho, right? Uve Shoch Becho it says, and the Zman Chiyuv depends on the Zman Shchive. Mimele, because till the Netzach Hamod there's still people that are sleeping. Mimele, this time is called the time of Laila, and it could be Yotzei B'diavad, or Yedei Choy Vaskriya Shema Shel Laila. So L'choire, if we're going by the mute, they're still sleeping, I'm going to ask you a question. When the Bnei Melochim wake up? So till 3 hours you can read Kriya Shema Laila. No? We're going by the mute. Some people are asleep till the nights. Mimele, it's still called Shas Shchive, and you could come and be Yotzei Kriya Shema Shel Laila. But there's no, why not the same? Right, it's not the same, but why?
Because we're talking about kings. We're talking about the normal people. We're not talking about...
So I don't remember exactly, but I think I saw the Teretz that he says because the kings, they get up in the time. Just they rolling in bed till 3 hours. So they get out of bed takes them 3 hours. But huh? Recognize that? No, Bnei Melachim. Yeah.
Comfortable base.
No, okay.
It's a special headset for the king.
Then what for the?
To go now.
Yeah. No, the Rishonim say this teretz. It's not the. I think the Ramban or the Rashba, one of the Rishonim say this teretz. The Rishonim, mamish pshat in the sugi. They say pshat in the sugi. What is pshat? They say nochonami because the thing. Okay, let's see the Gemara. Omar Mishum ben Levi aloch Rab Shimon she'omar Mishum Rab Akiva. So this is the second gears of what we learned beforehand. Says the Gemara. Ki ose. Sorry, I skipped. Yeah, Omar Rab Zeira. Ubilvad nochonami shelo yoyim hashkivenu. Why? Because this bracha it says dafke before hashkivenu, because before the shchive, and already when is it? Now is the sof zman shchive, so you cannot come and say over here hashkivenu. You cannot come and say hashkivenu nochonami thing. The Rosh brings B'Shem the Maharitz gave us a very interesting thing, that he shouldn't come and start from the beginning of hashkivenu, but from the sakneinu be'etzot toyun fonecha you should say. The Rosh disagrees on it. The Rosh brings down the Maharitz Geus, that you should come and say from the words Ashkivenu or not, but from the Sakneinu Beitzot Toivo, then already he's not talking about the Shchiva, so you should come and say. But the Rosh says you don't say the whole thing because you know Chanam Smichas Geula Letfile, and you go back to the original deal. So the Gemara, Ki Ose Rab Yitzchok Bar Yosef. Says the Gemara, Ki Ose Rab Yitzchok Bar Yosef, Omar. Hoder Rab Rachel Rab Chanine, what he said, Omar Rab Shimon ben Levi, that in Ochanam you can come and read Kriya Shema of Laila till the nights, lav befirushit. He didn't say it as a din, just what? Elo michlal itmal. We learned it out from a Maise. What was the Maise? There was over there a couple of the Rabbanon, the Ishtakur beilule the Rabbi Shimon ben Levi. There was a chasna of Rabbi Shimon ben Levi, married off his daughter, his son, and they got drunk at the chasna. His son. Brei, that's right. And in Ochoname, what happened over there, they fell asleep and they didn't read Krishma till after Alois. Also, the Kamed Rabbi Shimon ben Levi. Omar. Kedayu Rabbi Shimon Lismay Holov Bishas Atchak. And that's why in the time of a oines, Dafka in the time of a oines, then you can come and rely on the din of Rabbi Shimon. And that's, but Shaloi Bishas Atchak Loi, says Rashi. Shaloi Bishas Atchak Loi, it's only in the time of a oines. Says the Gemara. We learned in the Mishnah Maise Ubo Bonov, right, of Rav Gamliel, the Beis HaMishna, they told them, Loi Korinu Eshma, so he told them, Im Loi Ola Amud HaShachar, so, Chayovim Atem Likrois, right, that's the lotion of the Mishnah. Chayovim Atem Likrois. Says the Gemara, Ve'ad Ashte Loi Shmiya Lehu Od Rabbi Gamliel, that means the father and this din, and the Gemara explains, Ohik Omar Li. Betzem, they came and they asked us Ashayla, do you disagree on Rabbanon or not? Rabbanon pliga alayuch. Rabbanon disagree with you. And Mimele, they say that Krishma is in Ochoname up till Chatzois, even B'diavad. And if so, Ve'yochid ve'rabim alocha kerabim. And Mimele, we're not going to pass it like you. You're just going to pass it like Chachomim. Oidil me Rabbanon kavasach slichalu. The Be'emes B'diavad till Alois HaShachar is also good to come to like Krishma. Ve'ayde ko amre. At Chatzois, what Chachomim came and said that in Ochonah the time to read Krishma is at Chatzois, Kedelachi, Kisod Min Aver, and if so Davke, someone who didn't read till Chatzois b'meizid, they could not come in late. But we were anusim, so in Ochonah we could come and say over here Krishma even after Chatzois. And he answered them what he told them. Amar lo, Rabbono kavasei svirlo. And that's my, as long as the Alois HaShachar didn't yet happen, the Alois HaShachar, Chayovim, Atem, you have to come, Likrois, to come to read Krishma. Chayovim Atem. We have to come to say Krishma. Why Chachom say at Chatzois? On this, everything is the words of Rav Gamliel. It's mentioned that Achronim say that this Rav Gamliel doesn't Rabbonon. Yeah, that's some Achronim say. Says Rashi, Rabbonon pligo alayich. Diva Ramazin, Rabbonon pligo alayich. Kloimar, mi plige Rabbonon alayich. The other, what we said at Chatzois, dav kekomar. The lo imash lo beshoch bechol kol zman shchivelo, kol zman shederech bnei Yodom li'isasek leilech velishkav. Yes, and Rabbonon say, not like Rabbi Lezer, that the third beginning of the night, the people are about to go to sleep. Just till Chatzois alayla, people go to sleep. And the pliga de Rabbi Lezer, the ilu Rabbi Lezer svir leizman eisek shchiveino elad hashmoy rishoino leRabbonon at Chatzois. And you say, that's what the sons of Rav Gamliel tell him. Beshoch bechol kol zman shebnei Yodom shoychvi. That means as long as they are asleep. Veinu kol alaylo. Veyochid v'rami alocho kerabim. And maybe we're going to pass like who? Like Chachomim. Oy dilme kavasoch svirlo. Says Rashi. Umashalo beshoch becho kol zman shchive. V'deo de ko'amre at Chatzois. Archokeu. Just to come to do certain boundaries. Kedei lezarez. ומiyuecha deitnis, ולא יקורא כל חצויס, עדיין זמן חיוב הוא, ומשחי ונח כדי קריש במזמנו. And ממילא, we are anusim, and that's why we're going to have to come into reading it. Says the Gemara. ולא זו, אומר לו רבנו כבסי, וחייבים אותו ועד, says the Gemara. ולא זו בלבד אומו. ולא זו בלבד אומו, אלו מילות אל המשנה. Anything with Chachomim can say, right? The Lashon of Mishnah, Kol ma she'om Chachomim at Chatzois, mitzvoson ad sheyale amud hashachar. Anything what Chachomim say is mitzvoson ad sheyale amud hashachar. Says the Gemara. Rav Gamliel, mi ko'omar at Chatzois dektane v'lo yizu bilvadomu. That means he holds like Chachomim that the Zman is till Chatzois. No, he said that the Zman is till Alois hashachar. L'choira the hemshech of Mishnah it doesn't fit like adding on the words of Rav Gamliel, right? It doesn't fit on adding on the words of Rav Gamliel. Explains the Gemara. Afilu Rabbono, even Rabbono the Koamre at Chatzois, and be'emes min ha'Torah they say that word mitzvoso ad sheyale amud hashachar. Ve'ay the Koamre, why Chachomim came and said that you read Krishma, you learn Krishma till Chatzois. On this, Rabbi Gamliel adds that not only legabe Krishme, they said to come and to do it earlier till Chatzois. Just what? And the rest of the dinim of the Torah, the same thing they said that what? The Zman is kol halaylo is also till when? At Chatzois. So this is what Rabbi Gamliel is adding in this form of Chachomim. And not only in Krishme they said you should come and lay Krishme at Chatzois. Why? And lots of different dinim. What we see that in Ochonam is din is kol halaylo. You should come and do it till Chatzois kedei la'achik esodom min ha'avera. Says the Gemara. What is one of the things that we said? Hekter, chalovim, ve'eivorim. Right? The mitzvah is still when? Ad sheyale amud hashachar. This Chachomim doesn't disagree, as we saw Rashi and the Mishnah. All of the things that are mentioned in the Mishnah in Megillah, that the Zman is kol halaylo, so the Zman is actually kol halaylo. Ve'ilu achilas psochim lo iktane. That means between the mitzvahs that the mitzvah is kol halaylo, right? We didn't say that achilas pesach is kol halaylo, and it's mashma. That's what. And even min ha'Torah, the zman achila v'kol pesach is Chatzois. Feinig mo Rabinu. I'm going to ask a question on it. Kriyas, it says in the Braise. The Gemara brings down the Braise. It says in the Braise, Kriyas Shema. When you talk about Krishme, Arvis. Vehalel beleil psochim. Ve'achilas ha'pesach mitzvoson ad sheyale amud hashachar. So what's muchach over here? Min ha'Torah, the zman achilas pesach is kol halaylo. Kol halaylo. So why didn't we say it? And for the Gemara. O Rabbi Yosef lo ikashir. Ho, the Mishnah by us, Rab Lozo ben Azariah, that word, the zman achilas ha'pesach is only till Chatzois. That's the famous Rab Lozo ben Azariah. Rab Lozo ben Azariah says that the zman achilas pesach is only till Chatzois. Ho, the Braise, what we just saw, that it's kol halaylo, Rabbi Akiva, that this man in Ochaname is kol halaylo. This man is kol halaylo. Lemaise, everyone knows, just going to mention quickly, the Rosh. The Rosh in the end of Masechet Psochim. The Rosh paskins that Roi le'echoil matzah lifnei chatzois. Why? Because he says, like Rab Lezer ben Azario, that's Roi le'echoil matzah before chatzois. That's what the Rosh comes and brings over there in the end of Masechet Psochim. And nafkemina for us, the Afikoimon. When we eat the Afikoimon, we should eat the Afikoimon of the chatzois. But if we can't make the Afikoimon for chatzois, the Avnei Nezer, the famous Tanai of the Avnei Nezer that eats a kezais matzah and he makes it naim. Because if you say that you could come and eat the zman as the Fir Rab Lezer ben Azariah is still chatzois, after chatzois is nothing. So you're eating now a kezais matzah and you do it tonight. But in Ochoname already there's on this night there's the Moshe Feinstein the Frekt us up, the Briskarov already, and there's lots of questions on this night, but that's not our sugya when we come to Psochim in Mert Hashem. We're going to speak Mert Hashem. Remind me. Okay, let's see the Gemara weiter. So the Tanya, where do we find the Machloikes Rab Lezer ben Azario and Rab Akiva? Where do we find the Machloikes Rab Lezer ben Azario and Rab Akiva? It says of the pasuk about Yetzias Mitzrayim, about when they're eating over there the korban of Pesach. It says of the ve'ochlu es abosor balaylo hazeh. That's the pasuk. Ve'ochlu es abosor balaylo hazeh. What do we learn out? Rab Lezer ben Azario omer ne'emar kan balaylo hazeh, and we do gzera shove. Ve'ne'emar le'alon en makas bechoros. It says over there ve'ovarti be'eretz Mitzrayim balaylo hazeh. We learn gzera shove. Ma le'alon ad chatzois, and makas bechoros, one is called Lailo till chatzois. Afkan, the Lailo, when we come and talking about Achilas Pesach, is also ad chatzois. Omer le Rav Akiva, ve'aloi kvar ne'emar bechipozen, right? It says of the v'achad v'oisa bechipozen. And what is bechipozen? Ad shas chipozen. What was the shas chipozen? That was alois ashachar. The shas chipozen is alois ashachar, that then in Ochoname they were nechpaz to go out of Mitzrayim. And the kumtoy that the Zman Achilas Pesach is up to the Zman Chipozoin, up to Alois HaShachar, the whole night. So that's Machloikes Rab Akiva and Rab Lezer ben Azariah. If the Zman Achilas Pesach is the whole night, if we learn that from Balaylo, we learn that from Mechipozoin. In Kain, Mata Mudloima, what's the pshat in Posuk? Balaylo. It says over there, Ve'ochlo is Balaylo. What's the pshat? That the Yochonami should come and eat it, right? Only at night. And so the Gemara, Yochoil Yehei Nechal Ke. Then the Choname, like the rest of the kochim, that what the rest of the kochim you can eat also a yoy velaylo, also by day. So that's why we need to come and say over here the pasuk Tamud loyma balaylo nechal veloy bayoy. The Choname kum toy that our Mishneh goes like Rab Lezer ben Azario that the man Achilas Pesach is still what time till chatzois. The Braise in the Choname would come and said that the man is till Alois HaShachar goes according to Rab Akiva. Now the Gemara goes into the Machloikes Rab Lezer ben Azario and Rab Akiva. Bishloim el Rab Lezer ben Azario, the East Gzera Shove, in Ochonami he learns hazeh, balayla hazeh. So we understand why it's still chatzois. Itzich lemichtav elo le Rab Akiva, that he doesn't dash into the Gzera Shove, hazeh, my ovid lei, says the Gemara, you know what you do with hazeh according to Rab Akiva? Lemeute, lailo acheru deose, that in Ochonami that we might come and say hazeh. Sal kedai dochamine oilu Pesach kochim kalim. Right? Pesach is kochim kalim. So maybe it's going to be like any other kochim kalim. And any other kochim kalim, how long you could come and eat it, says the Gemara. Shlomim kochim kalim. Ma shlomi ne'echolin shnei yomim ve'laylo echod. Af Pesach. You should also ne'echal shtei leilois b'mokoim shnei yomim. Right? Ve'yei ne'echal shnei leilois ve'yoim echod. In Ochoname, Rashi over here learns, and Dibor Maschil Ma, that in Ochoname says Rashi that for sure in Yom Tezvov in the day you cannot come and eat it. Why? Because the Torah says Balaylo, you can eat it only at night. But because every kochim kalim you can eat 2 days and a night, over here the Torah tells you to eat it only at night, so you can eat it 2 nights, and the day not, Tezvov not, because the Torah tells you to eat it at night.
2 nights.
But 2 nights. That's what Rashi says, because the Torah tells you only a Laylo. So the Yom Tezvov, for sure you can't eat it. That's what Shitas Rashi. Shitas Rashi is, the Torah tells you to eat it only at night. So you can eat it at night. We say that you can eat it at night, but what? 2 nights. Instead of 2 days of a regular kochim kalim, you can eat it 2 nights, and that's the Lashon of Rashi. The Rashbam in Psochim, Daf Kuf Chov, the Rashbam learns differently. The Rashbam comes and says that you can eat it also during the day. The Torah tells you eat it the first night. But every kochim you eat shnei yomim velaylo echod. Or you can eat it shnei leilos veyoim echod. Which yom? The yom tezvav. The yom tezvav.
Which night will it be then?
The first night. Motzi Yudale, that's Leil Tezvav, what we call. Yeah, it means Motzi Yudale.
And then to Tesvav, which is
Yeah, Tezvav itself, according to Rashbam, and then the Leil Tezvav also. Why? Because that's Doimeh, the Kochim Kalim. Okay, there's two shittas over in the Rishonim how to understand the Gemara. Well, yeah, that's Shittas Rashi. Says the Gemara, Komash Malon, that's why we come and say, Balaylo Azeh. That's why I need the Balaylo Azeh. We shouldn't learn that way. Balaylo Azeh, Hu Nechvenu Necha Balayla Acher. Says the Gemara, V'Rab Lozer ben Azayo, this din that Pesach is eaten only Nochaname and not in the second night, where do we know it? Because he needs the Azeh for a different limud, that in Nochaname is still Chatzois. Says the Gemara, Mi lo yisoisiru mimenu ad boiker nafke. In Nochaname, don't leave it till the morning. And the Gemara comes and explains. Rabbi Akiva, he needs Exer Shove, he didn't learn it out from the Pasuk. Why? Because if I can learn it out from Lo Yisoisiru, from where? From Lo Yisoisiru. Have Amine my boiker. What's Lo Yisoisiru menu ad boiker? What's the boiker? Boiker sheni. That means only after the second morning of Pesach, only then you cannot come and be matir it. Yeah, that means the second day of Pesach, because the Zman is still when? Till the second night. And if it's still the second night, that's why we need a Gzero Shovet to come to be mine. No, the second night you cannot come and have it. Ober Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, that he doesn't learn out from the Boiker. What are you going to come and say in Boiker Sheni? What are you going to say? Omar Loch, Kol Boiker, any Boiker, what says in the Torah? Boiker Rishon Hu. And the Gemara comes and says that this Machloikas in Ochoname is a similar Machloikas to somewhere else. Where do we see? Vehane Tanoi, Kehane Tanoi. These Tanoi in Ochoname have a different Machloikas. It depends on the different Machloikas in a different pasuk. What is over there in the pasuk? The Tanya. It says in the pasuk, Shom Tizbach es Pesach Boerev Keboy Hashemesh. Right? That's what it says over there in the pasuk. Shom Tizbach. I'm going to look at the pasuk. The old pasuk is Ki Imel Amokom Asher Yivchar Hashem Elokecho L'Shak Yishmo Yishom. Shak Yishmo Yishom Tizbach es Pesach Boerev Keboy Hashemesh Moyed Tzeischo Mimitzroim. Now, there's three different zmanim in this pasuk. If we look at the pasuk, there's three different times in the pasuk. There's Boerev, talk about Pesach. There's Boerev, that means after Chatzois Hayoim. Boerev means Erev starts from Chatzois Hayoim, starts to be Erev because it's already going towards the night. Always from Chatzois starts to be Erev. That's the first zman what we have in the pasuk. Boerev. Then let's look at the pasuk, Kevoy HaShemesh. What means Kevoy HaShemesh? It became dark after the Shkia. That's the second time. And when is the time we went out of Mitzrayim? In the morning, Baboiker. So we have over here three different zmanim. Now we have a machloikas over here, the Tanoim. What in Ochoname is the time of Pesach? What happens at these three times in the Korban Pesach? Stays the Gemara. Rab Lezer Oimer, Boerev Atozoiveach. That means after Chatzois Erev Pesach, Yudaled in the afternoon, you come and you do the Korban Pesach, the Zviche, the Shchite. Ukeboy Hashemesh ato oichel, till when? Till Chatzois.
The next one.
Yeah, the Chatzois Alaylo. Umoyed Tzeis Chomeret Mitzrayim ato soiref. You're going to come and burn the noiso. You don't burn it, that means it turns into noiso. You burn it on, you cannot come and burn it on Yom Tov, yeah? The next day, that's what we mean. And that's like who? Like Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah. Rabbi Yeshua, let's see the way he learns it. Boerev ato zoiveach. That means Chatzois Yudalet. Yeah, Boerev means from Chatzois Hayom Yudalet. It's towards the evening. It's Keboy Hashemesh atoichel ve'ad Mosai atoichel. Till what time you eat it? Ad Moed Tzeis Chomeret Mitzrayim. That means till Alosh Hashachar of Tesvav. Till Alosh Hashachar of Tesvav. That's the time you can eat it. And he learns like who? Like Rabbi Akiva. Says the Gemara. What's the reason of the machloikas between Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Akiva? Omar Rabbabe. Hakoil moedim, that means even Rabbi Akiva is moede, Kshenigalu Yisrael mitzrayim lo nigalu elo boerev. When was the boerev? But what happened? Shenemar oitziacho Hashem Elokecha mitzrayim lailo. And for sure, Yinochaname Chatzois Halaylo was already happened over there. The chipazon of Mitzrayim. Chipazon of Mitzrayim happened already when the Chatzois Halaylo. Mitzat Sheni, Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah also is moede that what? Kshe yotzu lo yotzu elo bayoim. Why? Sheneemar Mimocharas HaPesach Yotzu Bnei Yisrael B'yad Roma. Right? Mocharas HaKrovas HaPesach. Then they went out. So that means in the day they went out, not at night. Al Manech. What's the machloikas? Al Shas Chiposin. What says in the Pasuk? V'achaltem oisem b'chiposin. What is this chiposin? What is this chiposin? What says in the Mishnah? Says the Gemara. Rab Lezer ben Azariah also var my chiposin de Mitzrayim. And when happened the chiposin de Mitzrayim? Chatzois alaylo. Right? Paro is walking out with pajamas. No, get out. That's the chiposin of Mitzrayim. But Rabbi Akiva understood what is Nochaname is the chiposin. What is the chiposin? He learned that the chiposin is in Nochaname, the chiposin de Israel. Rabbi Akiva so my chiposin de Israel. And the chiposin de Israel, that will happen only in the morning. In the morning, in Nochaname, when there was over there, the chiposin of the Israel, the Shas Gule. Tanya Nam Yoche, sorry. Till Chatzos. And if we say Be'etzem Hayoyim Hazeh, they went in the middle of the day. Be'etzem in the middle of the day they went. V'achaltem oisei b'chiposin till Shas Chiposin. That's what we say. We say at Shas Chiposin. When is the Shas Chiposin? When it became day, then they wanted to leave. From the daylight, then they wanted to leave. Lo kmo ganavim balayla. Sorry? V'achaltem oisei b'chiposin.
When did they have the Chom Pesach? Before Lion, before Chatzos. Then was Makkos.
Up to what time they could eat it. That's exactly the machloikas. Up to what time they could eat it. Till Chatzos or till the Alois HaShachar. That's the machloikas. Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah says up to Chatzos. Rabbi Akiva says...
That was the moment of Makkos.
Yeah.
The Medrash said they were sitting, eating whilst...
Yeah. Definitely they were eating beforehand, no question. But till what time? Yeah, the Shailas Pesach Mitzrayim also could be different. Is a thing. It's not because the Pesach Mitzrayim can be different in the dinim. We talk about the Machlokes Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah in Rabbi Akiva is the Kom Pesach Ledoyos. Says the Gemara. So Tanya Nam Yochel that we have a Machlokes that in Ochoname we have two parts of the Geula. We have a part of Geula what in Ochoname at two different times. Says the Gemara. We learn in the Pesukim. It says in the Pasuk, Oitziacho Hashem Eloikecho miMitzrayim Lailo. V'chi balaylo yotzu. They went out at night. Ve'alo lo yotzu elo bayoy shenema mimocharas hapezach yotzu bnei Yisrael biyad Roma. So they went out by day. Elo melamed comes to teach us. Sheitchilo lehem ha'geula mibo'erev. And the Gemara dash in the Pesukim in Ochaname what we see in Ochaname from Yetzias Mitzrayim. What do we see over there in Yetzias Mitzrayim? Says the Gemara. They started the Geula bo'erev, and then in Ochaname we have the Geula in the day. I saw once what we say in Ochaname in we say in Ma'ariv, right? What do you say over there in Ma'ariv? Amake be'evrosoi kol pchoir mitzroim v'yoytze am Yisrael mitrichom lechir usoilom, right? Amavir bonov. So it says over there first Make be'evrosoi kol pchoir mitzroim. And in the morning, that's what we say at night. What we say in the morning we say a little bit of a different lashon, right? We say in the morning the lashon of I think it's a different nusach this one. Yeah. Kol pchoirei we say Kol pchoirei morokto, right? Yeah, that we say when? In the morning. So what happened first in the morning? In the morning, in the morning we say over there, Kol pchoir morokto, u'lechol Yisrael go'olto, v'yamsuf lo'im bokato, v'zei tibato. So what happened first? We base avodi pedisonu, Mitzrayim galtonu, base avodi pedisonu, and then Kol pchoir morokto. That's what we say in the morning. What we say in the evening, in the Ma'ariv, we say a little bit different. Because we say over there, Oisel on nisim unakor faroy oisel moisim ad mazbnei chom amake be'evrosoy kol pchoy mitzrayim vayoytes amo Yisrael mitrichom lechur usoilom. So what happened first? Make be'evrosoy kol pchoy mitzrayim, and then vayoytes amo Yisrael mitrichom lechur usoilom. In the morning, what do we say? The other way around. We say first Mitzrayim galtonu Hashem lekeinu u'beis avodi pedisanu, and then kol pchoy morokto. So this is a fine felt lefi the Gemara over here. There was two halokim for the Mitzrayim. And according to Masechet Soifrim, as far as I remember, Masechet Soifrim says that what happened in Chatzos Halaylo? Hiko Hashem kol habechorim v'oyu goysesim ad halois hashachar. So Hamake, the Hakohe, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hid them. That happened at night first. Hamake bevroso kol poy mitzrayim, and then it was Vayotze Yisrael b'teichol l'chol soilam. What says over there in the morning? First, Beis Hamori Pedisonu kol poyreim horokto. The killing happened only after we went out of Mitzrayim, because this according to Masechet Seifrim. They got hit Chatzois, and then they were goysesim. They were like almost dead the whole time till Alois, and then Alois they died. So very good. At night we say Hamake was first, and the morning we say Horokto was after. According to the Gemara. Okay, the Gemara now comes and speaks about the limudim, what we have over here in Mitzrayim, the psukim over here. Says the Gemara. Daber no beoznei yom ma'id ve'ishalu ve'goimer ve'ishalu ish, the psukim of them meireu ve'isho ve'israel so klei keser v'chlei sov amre de meir Rabbi Yanai eino elo loshen bakoshe elo loshen bakoshe. What it means? What's the kavan of the pasuk? Omar le'Hakadosh Baruch Hu leMoshe bevakosho mimcho leich ve'emor lohem leYisrael bevakosho mimchem. Inochaname over there, please. And in Ochaname, the Brisker wants to be daik over here that the Bizas Mitzrayim wasn't the mitzvah on Klal Yisrael. Just HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and commanded Moshe Rabbeinu to ask them, right? A bakoshe. And that's why it says, over there in the Pasuk, says the Brisker, what is over there in the Pasuk? Uvenei Yisrael osu kidvar Moshe. Right? They did in Ochaname kidvar Moshe, because no be'emes a mitzvah in it. And that's why osu kidvar Moshe. Yeah. Lechu v'shalu, what you should come and say, Mitzrayim, chlei chesef, uchlei zov. And why should you do it? Why should we do it? Says the Gemara, shelo yoymar oisei tzadik, va'avodum ve'ilum oisom. Who's oisei tzadik, says Rashi? Avraham Avinu. And over here is the question, what I'm sure everyone knows, a few terutzim. Only because Shelo Yoyimar Oisei Tzadik, that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and tells us, take thing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised. V'avodu ve'inu moisa abba moishono v'achichem yetzu b'chush godol. So because he promised Avraham Avinu, that's the only reason, that you should please come and take for the Bizas Mitzrayim, because he promised Avraham Avinu. You promised, keep your promise. Because there's many terutzim. Because over here, what happened is, they came and they were supposed to work 400 years. Koishi Hashiabut, whatever the reason is, Lemai said they worked only Redu. So 210. So they would come and say, like a person comes and says, a slave is working by his master, and he tells him, you have to work now for 20 years. But he says, and then after 20 years, you're going to get, you're going to get presents and gifts and who knows what. He says, let me go now, I forget about everything, I don't want anything, just let me go. So if you let him go by half of the way, he doesn't want anything. And that's why I don't have to give. Just and that's why that's the only reason. He comes and says, says the Gemara, Ulevai Sheneitze, says the Gemara, Ulevai Sheneitze Neitze Be'atzmeinu. What means in Ochaname? So the Gemara, let's see the Ochaname, the Gemara brings it down. Moshe lo Adam shor yochom beis asurim, vayoyim lo bnei Adam, moitzi no yischoy lo mochom beis asurim, ve'av no yischoy mo min arbe. So what do we tell them? Well, let's see the insight. What we just said. What he's going to say, Oimar lo em bevakoshem mikem, oitzien hayoyim, I want to get out today. Ve'eini mevakesh klum, and don't stop my freedom, the same thing for a lot of money. The same thing in Ochaname. Over here, they came and he told them in Ochaname the same thing. It says the Gemara, Vayashilum. It says over there in the Pasuk, Vayashilum. What means Vayashilum? It says the Gemara, Maravami, Melamed Shishulum Bar Korcho. What means Shishulum Bar Korcho? They didn't want to give it. But in Ochaname, the Medrash says that in Makas Choshech, they didn't have a bit of light. So they went into the houses and they saw. And then they came over there to borrow the things. And he told them, no, we don't have. So he says, yeah, you have it in this cupboard. Exactly they knew to say. So that means Vayashilum Bal Kocho, that's what the Medrash teaches us. Says the Gemara. What means Ve'eshilum? Bal kocho de Mitzri ve'ikedamre, bal kocho de Israel. What means bal kocho de Israel? So the Gemara explains. Mandom bal kocho de Mitzrayim, because of the based on the pasuk of pasuk and Tehillim. It says over there in the pasuk and Tehillim, unevas bais techalek sholol. Unevas bais techalek sholol. That means that in Ochaname that they took in Ochaname the sholol. What is the sholol? The sholol is a booty. When you take from someone a booty, is bederech klal bal kochoy. And over there it's talking about the Mitzrayim. So the Mitzrayim, what we took from Mitzrayim is called the sholol. Sholol is booty what they take from the war. So that means it was taken bal kochoy. And man de omar bal kochom de Yisrael, because he says, because mishum masoy, Klal Yisrael said we have so many things to carry in Ochaname. Because why? So the God explains because they knew that they're going to be Zoich and Bizas Hayam. And that's why you say, why should we come now and schlep all of this? Let's come, and we should have more space for Bizas Hayam, because Bizas Hayam was much more than Bizas Mitzrayim. And that's why they didn't want to take it. So once a person doesn't want to take a thing, Elamai, they knew that they're going to have Bizas Hayam, and they knew that Bizas Hayam is going to be even much better than that. So they said, why should we schlep now? Let's come and keep it for... Says the Gemara, Vayinatzu et Mitzrayim. What means Vayinatzu et Mitzrayim? Omar Ami. What's the pshat? Melamed, that in Ochaname they take Mitzrayim, Shasok Metzudo. Metzudo is like a nest, like a net. What they come, She Ein Bo Dogon. That means that in Ochaname the birds don't come to it anymore. That means they emptied out Mitzrayim, they wiped out Mitzrayim, they cleared it out. V'Reish Lakish Omar, Asur Metzulo, She'ein Bo Dogim. In Ochaname the dogim come up, were placed where there is food. The same idea in Ochaname, just in a different idea in Ochaname thing. Okay. Says the Gemara, it says over there, Ehye Asher Ehye. Says the Gemara, Eke Asher Eke, depends on the Ramban here, how we understand in Ochaname the Loshen. Omar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu leMoshe, Leichem Olam leYisrael, Ani, that means the Eke, Oisi Imchem B'Shi'amud Zeh. And Asher Ehye, what that means? Ani Ehye Imchem B'Shi'amud Malchus, Omar Lefonov, Dayo Letzor B'Shaito. Why now to come and to mention them, all the things, Omar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu? My kavone was not to come and to announce Klal Yisrael on the future. Just what the Moshe Rabbeinu himself. That's what. Leichem Olim. Yesh lochani aleichem. You just tell them, yesh lochani aleichem. That means that this Shiavud of Mitzrayim, that you're now in Ochaname. But in Ochaname, because we darshan the double lashon of Eya Asher Eya, so the Gemara darshans more limudi. What's the more limudi? What we darshan? Says the Gemara, when we find in the tefillah of Eliyahu Novi. What do we find over there? Aneini Hashem Aneini. Omar Avo. Loma Omar Aneini Shtei Palmi. Why he said Aneini twice? Melamed Shomar Eliyahu Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ribono Shel Olam. Aneini Kedei Sheteret Eish Min HaShor Ma'im V'toichal Kol Asher Al HaMizbeach V'aneini Shetasiach Daitum Kedei Shelo Yoimru Ma'aseh Kshovim Shenemar Ve'ato Asiboiso Libom Achoy Ranis. In Ochaname, that's why that Keilu comes on the time of the Ribono Shel Olam in Ochaname that the Machshove that in the times of Eliyahu in Ochaname they had the Admos Atem Poischim al Shtei HaSeifim, as we know over there in Eliyahu and Har HaKarmel. So that's why he comes and says Aneini Hashem Aneini. He says it twice. Yeah, we saw it in Ochaname a few days ago in the Vav Amud Beis. Let's just see the Mishnah to start the Mishnah. Let's see the Mishnah. Says the Mishnah. Me'emosai. Okay, so we learned when the relay Kriya Shema be'arvis. Now let's see, what about Shachris? Me'emosai koirin Shema be'Shachris. When is the time to come to read Kriya Shema in the daylight? Says the Gemara. The Mishnah. Mishayakir bein Tcheles leLovon. There's enough light over there that he can recognize Tcheles and Lovon. In Ochaname, Toises and Davches Omed Beis and Dibra Maschiloi, what we saw in the beginning of the Shir, he comes and he says over there that Lekol HaPochos you have to wait at Sheyakir. That's Lekol HaPochos. That's what the Toises comes and says. Lekol HaPochos you have to come to wait at Sheyakir. Tcheles Lekarti. Yeah, and that means the Mishnah Yosef comes and says that our Mishnah, when we say Mishayakir, is only Bishas Adchak. Bishas Adchak. Bishas Adchak, when a person wants to lay Krishma, what time you should lay Krishma? That's what we say in Ochaname Mishayakir bein Tcheles leLovon. But in Ochaname Mitzvah Mun HaMuvchar is Lismach Geula LeTfileh, just before the Netzach Hamo. That's the Mitzvah Min HaMuvchar to come and say Krishma. Rabbi Lezer Oimer says the Mishnah. What is the shiur? Bein Tcheles Ekati to recognize that what? That Tcheles Ekati is a little bit later. Because Tcheles Ekati are more similar. Is a little bit more similar. And you need a little bit more of light to come into recognize between Tcheles Ekati, then you need to recognize with Tcheles Ekati. That's it. Says the Gemara, Vegoimo, when in Ochoname it's good to finish the mitzvah min hamuvcher, to finish the krishme, ad haneitz, till the neitz achamo. Rabbi Yeshua Omer, you have to finish it till when? Ad sholosh shois. Why? Shekein derech hamelochim lamoid b'sholosh shois of the day. But someone who came in late krishme after that, akoyre mikan v'elach, even though he's not yoytzi the yichoyvas krishme, but lo hivsid, he was not mafsid the schar mitzvah. Why? Because he's still going to have a schar. Which schar? Not the regular schar. Just what? Ke'odom hakoyre batoiro. You know, Chanami, that he's going to get the schar ke'odom hakoyre batoiro. Says the Rashi, Tcheles yoroiku v'koroiv letzeva karti. Now, what's the chiddush over here that odom koyre batoiro? What's the chiddush? So what we said in Nochaname is based on the Rashi and the Gemara that the Nochaname is going to get kekoyre batoiro. The Rabbeinu Yoida says, person reads in the Torah, for sure he's going to get schar. Says the chiddush is, we know dvorim shemichsav iya Torah shaylomo be'al peh. But krishme you're allowed to say be'al peh. Huh? Yeah, Shogah B'Fiv. Krishma, he says, he uses it as Krishma, you're allowed to say Be'al Peh only when it's Krishma. It's mashma not because Shogah B'Fiv. He says that's the Chiddush. The Chiddush is over here. You're allowed to come and say Krishma Be'al Peh also Le'achar Azman because it's still, you're not going to get the schar of Mitzvah Zmano. You're going to get still a schar, but it's not only Kekoyre B'Torah. Kekoyre B'Torah is no Chiddush Kekoyre B'Torah. You're always going to get Kekoyre B'Torah. It's more than that. Yochanan is going to get schar and he also can come and say it Be'al Peh.